Okay. Good evening, everyone. I welcome each and every participants today to this session, how to find a job post-COVID. Yeah, let's start with the session today. We have Mr. Karthik Dev sir as a speaker today, and also before starting off, we have Ma'am Nadini ma'am from CSI Bangalore chapter to give the inaugural speech. So I request my fellow partner Spasha to quickly introduce Miss Ma'am Nadini Ma'am today for to give the inaugural speech. Over to you, Spasha.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. This is Sai Sparsha, Secretary at CSI BMSIT Student Branch. Uh, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Nalini ma'am to every one of you. Dr. N. Nalini is a professor at the Department of CSE at Nitte Meenakshi Institute of Technology, Bangalore. She has received her MS from BITS Pilani and PhD from Visvesvaraya Technological University. She has more than 23 years of teaching and 16 years of research experience, and has numerous international journal and conference publications to her credit. She has received Bharat Jyoti Award by India International Friendship Society, New Delhi, from Dr. Bhishma Narayan Singh, former governor of Tamil Nadu and Assam. She has numerous awards in her credit. A few to mention are Dr. Abdul Kalam Lifetime Achievement Award, National Award for Excellence in Teaching, Research Publications and Administration by International Institute for Social and Economic Reforms, IISER, Bangalore. She's also the recipient of Distinguished Professor Award by TechNex India 2017 in association with Computer Society of India CSI Mumbai chapter, and Best Professor in Computer Science and Engineering Award by 26 Business School Affair Divang Mehta National Education Awards at Bangalore. She is a lifetime member of the ISTE, CSI, ACEEE, and IIFS. She has been elected unanimously as Vice Chair cum Chairman elect Computer Society of India Bangalore chapter for the years 2019 and 2021. I heartfully welcome you to the session, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am. Kindly inaugurate our session today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Anil Gian, the HOD of Computer Science and Engineering, and Ms. Vidya R. Pai for inviting me. It's a great honor for me to be associated with you people. So I'm immensely honored, and it is a pleasure to address the dignitaries and the participants of the webinar on how to find jobs post-COVID, organized by the Department of CSE under this Computer Society of India Region 5 from BMSIT and M by the well-known speaker, Mr. Karthik Dev, job search strategist and a career enhancer. It is really good to know that BMSIT and Management College has identified Mr. Karthik Dev, who is a job search strategist, and is on a mission to help more than 1 lakh job seekers find their next job. So in these challenging times of COVID-19 pandemic, it is really a ray of hope to listen to experts who can guide every one of us so as to how to find jobs post-COVID. So as we are hearing many firms laying off their employees, which is not a good sign. And I happened to hear the YS exclusive, that is your story leadership talk with Mr. Ratan Tata, interviewed by CEO and editor of YS, Shraddha Sharma, in which Mr. Ratan Tata expressed deep anguish over the industry-wide layoffs that have taken place as a result of the COVID pandemic. So this is the right time that BMSIT and M has arranged this webinar, and I wish them the best. Always the support of Computer Society of India will be there for any of such activities, and I request all of you to kindly enlighten yourself with the expert talk from Mr. Karthik Dev. So he's a job search strategist and an expert in this area. I wish all the participants and the college, as well as the coordinators of this event, best success and all the best. I thank for the invitation, and I request for just allow me to exit from this because I have got other commitments. And I thank once again the BMSIT College as well as Ms. Vidya Arpai for inviting me for this inaugural address. Thank you and all the best for all the participants, and take a best note of the expert talk. Over to
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
Thank you
Thank
so
you, ma'am.
much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I request Sai Pasha to quickly introduce our speaker for the day.
Yeah, let me introduce our speaker of the day, Mr. Karthik Dev, sir. Mr. Karthik Dev is a job search strategist on a mission to help 1 lakh job seekers find their next job. Karthik has worked with major clients like Intel, IBM, Accenture, Microsoft, TCS, Amazon, Flipkart, and many branded companies to find the best talent in the industry. He has helped more than 25 startups set up their workforce from scratch. Karthik has helped more than 7,000 plus job seekers personally, which includes 1,100 plus leadership professionals and 2,000 plus freshers. He has written more than 3,000 plus resume and 1,000 plus LinkedIn profiles for the job seekers. He believes in the target type of resumes, and the hit ratio is more than 90%. Mr. Karthik has learned a critical lesson in his career, that is, prepare and practice to get the right job. It is tough to navigate through constant challenges if you are not well equipped with the right strategies, techniques, networking, and proper guidance. I hereby welcome Mr. Karthik Dev sir to our session and kindly carry on the webinar.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Sai, can you hear me? Can
Yes,
everybody hear
sir.
me out? Yeah. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Nalini, and thank you, Sai, for the introduction. Yes. So, Sai has told you about myself. I come from a recruitment background. I have more than 17 years of experience, and even my journey was not an easy journey. I did my post graduation long back in 2003. I completed my post graduation in HR, and and during the post graduation, I struggled a lot to get my first job. But that didn't stop me in working as a freelancer. And even whatever situation was in, I made sure that I was working. I was not sitting idle. I still remember my first job. I was selling books. I still remember it was it was a 6 hours job, and I had to sell books. I didn't know what job it was. I just walked in and I gave my interview, and I said, whatever it takes. I love to learn about the human behaviors. So I thought, okay, this is a job where I can learn a lot about human behaviors. I used to sell books, and I used to interact with a lot of human beings. It was kind of a door-to-door kind of a sale. But that gave me a lot of hope and a lot of motivation. And in matter of 3 or 4 months, I got my full-time job, and then I didn't look back. So that's what my journey was, right from 2003. Then I started working with a lot of corporates and the consultants, and I helped companies like IBM, Accenture, Flipkart, Amazon, to build their workforce in India. I helped a lot of startup companies also, to set up their workforce in India. So it's been a great journey. So last 2-3 years, I've been helping a lot of job seekers, and this COVID has literally changed the way we are searching for a job. Change the way the outlook of how to search for a job. So earlier pre-COVID, the situation was kind of okay. People used to get job, and people used to attend interviews. Okay, always remember there are two ways of searching for a job. Okay, and I want this session to be more interactive. So whoever it is, I want to know their names. If you can just type in I'm in, so if all who are here, this is gonna be a very interactive session. I don't want to be a speaker coming here and just giving my gyan to you. I want you to learn each and every step of job search. It's very important. I know if you may be in the final year or you may be in the third year, but if you start following the system, okay, and be consistent on this, I assure you, I bet you that, you will get a job faster, because I have tried the system. I have tried and tested the system with 7,000 plus job seekers who found their next job. Okay. Yes, post COVID, you need to make some tweaks in your job search. So I'm going to tell you all those things. I'm going to reveal all those systems where you can find your next job. Okay. So great. I can see Sai, I can see Gautam saying hi, and I'm in. Balwant saying I'm in. Raghavendra, I'm in. Prasanna, I'm in. So I could see only 5-6 people saying I'm in. So rest. What about rest? Okay, great. Sri. Thank you. So great. It's great to be part of this session. So let me quickly take you to a small presentation. Yeah, can you see my screen? Yeah. Okay. Can you see the screen?
No, sir.
Okay, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. What about now? Okay, 1 minute. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay, great. Okay, so how to search for a job? Okay, post COVID. Okay, anybody here who's an athlete, who's a marathon runner, or even an athlete? Who are in, anybody who here who's in sports? Anybody in sports? Yes. So Gautam says you're okay. He is in sports. So which sport is it? Are you a runner? Are you an athlete? Are you a cricketer? Or who is it? So Gautam, are you an athlete?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Also
great.
an athlete, but I'm more into taekwondo.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, Gautam. So you're an athlete. So what is your, if you have to run a race, what you need to do? Do you start off like, one fine day you wake up and then start running and you win the race? Is it so?
No, sir. It requires immense practice.
Yes, my friends, even job search, right? Even job search needs practice. You need to practice. You need to prepare before you start running. Just like it's like a marathon. Before you start running, before you start going to this, the competition or the race, you need to practice. Okay, so So what you need to do is, the first thing is job search. Treat this job search as a marathon. It's not like a sprint. It's not like you get up one day and share your resume and you get interview calls and the next day you get an offer. It's very rare that people get a job like that. So what you need to do is, this is a tried and tested formula which you need to implement, and that is, the number one thing is you need to practice. You need to prepare. For a race, you need to prepare the same thing where you have to prepare for your job search. What you need to do is, see, I won't be able to cover up the entire system, but I would just give you a brief about how you can go about searching for a job. The first thing is your goal setting. It's all here. It's all in the mindset. Okay. As I told you, there are two ways of searching for a job. One is, it's a reactive way of searching for a job. Reactive way is nothing but you share your resume in the portal, in the job board like Naukri, Monster, or any of the platform. You upload your CV and then you wait for the interview, the companies to call you. Okay, that's a reactive way of searching for a job. It's very, and especially in this situation, you may not get the calls from the companies. So the other method is, it's a proactive. It's a proactive way of searching for a job. Proactive way of searching for a job is, you need to reach out to the decision makers. You need to reach out to the people. You reach out to the companies who are hiring. Okay, how do you do that? First thing is, you need to have a goal setting. First thing, you divide your goal setting into you need to be very specific on the goal setting. That is like 30, 60, 90. What you do is, any job search, if you have to get a job, the average time to get a job is 60 days to 90 days. Okay, but there are people who get a job within a week's time, or maybe one month's time, but the average is 60 days. So you need to be very patient. That, yes, if I put in my heart and soul and practice and prepare, I will get a job in 30 to 90 days, right? So have a specific goal in your mind. Plan it accordingly, like 30, 60, 90. In 30 days, you need to get all your system in place. You need to prepare for your job search. So how do you do that? I will explain to you. In 30 days, the first thing is, you need to prepare. The 60 days is, you need to plan and implement whatever you have learned. And the 90 days is the ongoing process. You need to be very consistent. So I'll explain to you how it is. Okay. So goal setting is very important even before you start for a job. Gautam wouldn't have just woke up one day and said, hey, today I'm going to run and I'm going to go to the competition without any practice. It's impossible to do that. Same thing with the job search. You need to have some goal setting. He would have done his practice. He would have prepared. He would have said, okay, next 30 days, I'm going to get into the competition, or 60 days, I'm going to get into the competition. So how do you do that? So you start preparing for that competition. So it's same thing with the job search. You need to have a goal setting, say that I'm going to get my job in 60 days or 90 days. For that, I need to practice. I need to prepare. Okay. And very important, write affirmations. This has helped me immensely in the last 3 years. I've been writing. I have my book. Okay, I can show you. I have my book, and I write affirmations every day. That gives a boost. Every day morning, or it could be in the night. Just take a book. Have your own book, one book, and write whatever comes to your mind, and write in a positive way. I write affirmations. It could be like this. So you can write something like, I'm working in a great, and it has to be in present. Don't write that I will be or I could be. That's an assumptions. Okay, think that you're in present in the future. You have to write in the present. You're saying that I'm working in a great company. I'm working in a positive environment. I'm working with a startup technology company, or whatever you desire, whatever you wish. You have to write in a present about the future. I'm a successful entrepreneur. I'm a positive person. So you have to keep writing about it. And I am. Trust me, that's gonna be, that gives an immense boost, and that's a positivity which you carry. And whatever you write, right, whatever I have written in my book, almost like 70% or 80% has come, it's become a reality. So try this out, write affirmations every day. That will help immensely in your next step. You're getting into the corporate world, you're getting into the next level. College, yes, you have learned theoretical part of it. The actual journey, the life starts actually from after your college. The how you practically learn about this subject, how do you practically interact with, how do you interact with the people, how do you network with people. Your journey starts now. Okay, so write affirmations. And during your preparation, personal development, I'm sure that your college would be helping you out in your personal development, which is a must at this point of your career. You're getting into the corporate world, you need to groom yourself, you need to be your personal development, you need to have a good personality. How do you do that? There are three major things in personal development. The first thing is the confidence. Whatever it takes, your confidence has to be high out there. You might have a very a low day, or you wouldn't have, you would have had a fight with somebody, but your confidence level has to be there. You have to build that confidence. How do you build that confidence? Is by preparing. Once you start preparing about your goal, how do you reach that goal? The preparation itself will give you an confidence. So once you have the 90 days plan or 120 days plan or whatever, and you start preparing for it, automatically you will start building that confidence. The experienced people, right, experience who are working, their confidence is built because of their experience, because of the work what they're doing. You are a fresher, you do not have a work experience. How could you get that confidence? Is by preparing. You need to prepare at every stage, and follow that discipline. Wake up early in the morning, and do some exercise, and have a good body language. All these things matter. Why I'm saying you this, why I'm telling you this, all these things matter when you're really approaching the decision makers, when you're searching for a job, when you're interacting with a lot of people out there. So all this matters. Your body language matters. You have to think positive, self talk. I know it's very easy to tell. I know I used to when I was in college, my brother used to tell me, like, you have to be very confident. I was an introvert person out then. I never used to go out. I was to be very shy. And he used to tell me, like, he's 3 years elder to me. So he used to tell me, like, one thing what you need to do is forget about your studies, forget about what you have done. You have to build that confidence. Only that confidence will take you to the next level. So once you have that confidence, you can rule the world. That's the kind of confidence you should have. So confidence and the discipline and practice, patience. I will not go in detail about it. It needs a lot of time to really explain and go into the detail. So what I'm saying is your personal development is very important. It's not only about work, studies, and all those stuff. Give yourself 1 hour of your time, in 24 hours. Go for some exercise, do some yoga, listen to some music, good music, relax yourself, build that confidence, have a discipline in your life. It could be that even 20 minutes of walk or 15 minutes of walk, or a meditation of 15 minutes, that will help you a lot, especially in the morning time. You wake up early in the morning, and you do some activities right after you wake up. That depends the entire day. If you start looking at your mobile, looking at your laptop, and then start working as soon as you wake up after you brush your teeth, that will take you to the next level. So you have to have your mornings, a good morning, at least 1 hour. Spend your 1 hour for yourself. Hope I'm not kind of boring you people. Are you in? So hope the part what I'm discussing about, it's about the personal development, it's about the preparation. So yes. So the next part is the research. So we are still in the practice stage, we are in the preparation stage. So Gautam can relate to this. Gautam can relate to this. Gautam would say that yes, he has to wake up early in the morning, do some exercise, do some practice, and then get into the competition. And same thing, here you need to practice. So what you need to do in research, the first thing what you need to do in research is you need to research about your industry. Okay, it could be that you can have like research about the industry and have 50 companies list. Okay, do your research. You can get into Google or any of the platform and try to do some research about your industry. Okay, what kind of a industry you want to get into, and what is how many companies are there, and how many MNC companies are there, how many startups. You may start making those lists. Okay, so and then what you do is you shortlist at least 30 to 50 companies from that industry. Okay, this could help you in your internship also. Okay, when you start researching about the industry you want to get into, for example, if I'll give you an example of a semiconductor semiconductor industry. I'm a electronic guy, and I want to get into the semiconductor field. I'm into the physical design part of it, and then I start researching about the companies in the industry. There would be around 100 plus companies in semiconductor company in India, which are really good. Then I start getting into the details. I go into every companies and then start researching about the founders of the company. And then I start researching about their, the funding, or I start researching about their products and services about the companies, and look at their vision, what vision they have, and all these research, you need to get into it and list down 50 companies from your industry. And then the next stage is companies. So now once you have the 50 companies in your list, then again you shortlist back to 30 companies. Okay, so industry is a broader research what you're doing, and then get into the companies. You have to get into all your get into your LinkedIn, get into the company website and start researching about it, and list down at least 30 to 40 companies from there. Okay, and then what you can do is start researching about your industry experts from those companies, from 30 or 50 companies where you have listed down. Start researching about those industry experts. The industry experts could be like related to your skill set. If you're working as a physical design in semiconductor, so then you would have to get into you would have to list down all the decision makers of those physical design people, your seniors. They could be from 6+ years, 7+ years, 8+ years. Try to start listing down all these experts who are in these companies. Okay, so this is how you have to start doing your research when you have to really look for a job. The first thing is the industry, have a broader research, list down like 50, 60 companies, and then get narrower, do a research of the companies, like 30, 40 companies from the 50 companies list, and then again get narrower and list down good industry experts from these companies. Okay, and then it could be your seniors, it could be from your alumni, who are working currently. Why don't you do some research about them, where they are? I'll take you to one. I'll take you to LinkedIn, for example. So I'll just give BMS. Okay. So I hope everybody has a LinkedIn, profile. LinkedIn, you have a LinkedIn account. Hope everybody has a LinkedIn account. Yes, Gautam has. Everybody, I think most of them, you have to get into LinkedIn. That's the platform where you have to be in. It's not about Instagram and TikTok, and these are not the platforms where you really search for a job. LinkedIn is. So you better get into the LinkedIn as soon as possible. So now, I'm just giving you an example. So you are from BMS College, right? Just type in BMS College here and look at it. You would have roughly around 78,000 people from BMS college. Okay, so what you do is you can get there, and for example, look at Simi Chaudhary. Just click on that. She is an she's what? She's an HR. She's an leader in human resource talent management. So talent management. So she would be a part of the recruitment. She would be a part of the hiring. So get into her profile, send her a connection request. She would be the one who could help you out. How you can do is send out a mail, send out a message to her saying that you are from BMS College University. I'm from the same college university, and I would like to connect with you. And don't straight away ask for a job. You have to first start building that connection. You have to start approaching them. Send some warm message. Say good morning or whatever. Just send out a message, build that connection. So these are the people you need to connect with. So look at her. She's working as an AVP in talent management, L&D. She could be the one who could help you out in getting internship, or could be helping you out in getting a job. And AVP is not a small small designation. She's an assistant vice president. She's there. So you have to send out a message. Just that. You send out a connection request. Let her be in the connection request, and let her be in that in your network list, and then slowly start. I will tell you how to do it. How you have to approach her, and what are the templates you need to use when you're sending it to the decision makers. So I think we are running out of time. So yeah, I will just give you a brief about how to go about it. Yeah, so research. Industry, companies, industry experts, and alumni. Your seniors from your college. These are the ones you need to really do some research. During your practice session, during your preparation session. Okay, and the next part is you need to have, when you're preparing, first thing is you need to have your resume. You need to have your LinkedIn profile, and you need to know what are the job boards you need to have. You need to upload your CV in. Okay, I will come back to you on the job boards later. But resume and LinkedIn, it's like your product. It's like a tool. It's like your product which you're gonna market it to the to the job market. Market it to the companies. So resume. Few things. I'll just cover the basic about resume. It has to be an ATS template. Okay, so it's an automated applicant tracking system software, which most of the companies are using at this moment. It's a software which eliminates almost like 60-70% of the resumes. Earlier, all the resumes used to go to recruiters, and they used to manually screen it and then send it to the hiring manager. But because of this software, the applicant tracking software, the bot, the software eliminates almost like 60-70% of the resumes which are not matching. The keywords are not matching to the job description, and only 20-25% goes to the recruiters. Just imagine. And that from 25%, again, recruiters will start screening, and only 10 or 15% goes to the hiring manager. So make sure that you have an ATS template filled with a lot of keywords related to your job, related to your role, related to your skill. Okay, you need to have a lot of keywords in your resume, and always have a target resume. Why I'm saying what is target resume is nothing but when you're applying for a job, there would be some job description about the role, about the responsibility, about the position. So as per the job description, you need to write your resume. You need to pick some keywords from the job description and use those keywords in your resume. This will help you to pass through the applicant tracking software, pass through the ATS. So always remember, my friends, use a lot of keywords which is relevant to your skill. Okay, which is relevant. You have to go through the job description of the companies, use those keywords in your resume. And let the resume be 2 pages. I know there is a debate like, should I use 1 page, 2 page, or 3 page? I would say there's nothing like that, but don't go more than 2 pages. In India, we haven't started that 1 page kind of a resume. At least 2 page. Yeah, 1 to 2 page should be good. Don't go beyond two. Don't go beyond three and all. Don't use a 3 pages, 4 pages resume. I'll tell you, I was a recruiter. My screening process was like 3/4 of the first page. I just look at the first page, and if it has a lot of keywords in it, then it goes to the next stage, or else I just eliminate. I just I don't shortlist it. So make sure that all your keywords are in your first 3/4 of your first page, and make sure that it's not more than 2 pages. Ideal is 2 pages. And always, you are a fresher, so you don't have a work experience, so highlight your projects, highlight your education, highlight your projects and education. Whatever your project you have done in your college, use that as your highlight. What contribution you have done in that project. That really helps. When you're going for an interview, they will not ask about some 3 years experience people what they're doing, or 4-year experience candidate what they're doing. They will ask you what you have done in your project in your college, what you have learned in your college. It's all about what you have learned. They will not ask you more than that. So make sure that your project, your education speaks. Okay, so my friends, this is all basic what I'm giving. If I get into it would take more than 2 or 3 hours. So excuse me. So I'm just giving you a basic. And LinkedIn. So now, these are the things you need to really look at it. Let me take you to my profile. Let me take you to my profile. Okay. So let's do this. We have what? We have 22 people here. Why don't you send me a connection request right now? Or why don't you connect with me in, why don't you connect with me on LinkedIn? If you have your LinkedIn account, let's do this. Why? Because I have more than 7,000, 8,000 connections, and, that will help you. When you're connected to me, I keep getting a lot of requirements. I interact with a lot of industry experts, and there will be a lot of posts coming in, so you can view it, because I'll be your first connection. So why don't you do this right away? Why don't you send me a connection request? I have written something about today morning. I have written that I'll be going I'll be having a session with BMS students. Go there, like and comment, and then let's do this. Come on. I'll give you 1 minute. Let's get into LinkedIn. And I have posted, I have posted this comment here. This will increase your presence in LinkedIn. This will increase your, you need to start engaging with the post. You need to start engaging with your industry experts post. Okay, that is where, when you start getting the visibility in the market. Okay, so here's the post, and let me wait for 1 minute. Let's see how many people will send me a connection request, and then you can go here and like the post and comment on it. Okay, so by that time, meanwhile, I will tell you what profile looks like, what your profile should look like. So this is my profile. Sorry, the net is really slow. Okay, so this is my profile. Look at it. So what I've done is, this is the profile pic. You need to have a good profile pic of a headshot. The face has to be visible. Don't have a flashy kind of a profile pic in LinkedIn. Have a very decent one, a good shirt, or maybe a suit or blazer, or even a simple shirt would really help that. And look at the cover photo. This is the cover photo which you can really get into. There are a lot of software where you can start using. There's a software tool called as Canva. You can get in there and create your cover page. Here, look at this. This is a call to action where I have written that looking for a job. let's connect. So people, whoever looks at my profile, if they're a job seeker, if they're searching for a job, they will that catches immediate that catches that attention. Like, they will look into it and say that, hey, this person is maybe a recruiter or a person who helps people searching for a job. So then they will come to my profile and say that, hey, the headline is catchy. He's a job search strategist. I'm looking for a job at this moment. So why don't I connect with him? So, and then this is a headline which I have written, like, on a mission to help 1 lakh job seekers find the right job. What you can write is passionate about, so and so skills. Keep it like 3 or 4 kind of a lines. Don't go more than 3 lines. So you can write your skill here. If you're a Java expert, you can write at Java. You can write your college, about college, something like that. Give 2 or 3 lines about yourself. And then here it is the about section. So what you can do is, when you're writing your resume, some of the parts of your resume can come here. And when you're writing your LinkedIn profile, let it be like let it not be like a third person telling a story. So that gives a more of a personal touch. Here I've written as hi, I'm Karthik Dev, a job search strategist on a mission to help 1 lakh job seekers. So I've written in a kind of a story, and it's more of a storytelling. People will look into it and then say that, hey, so then I've given a visit my page for more details. That's a call to action. Probably you can write your email ID there and say that, I would be interested in exploring opportunities in a product company or a service company or a good company, and this is my email ID. You can reach out to me. Something like a call to action. So about section is very important. And then look at this. This is people who have viewed my profile in LinkedIn, and this is post views, who has seen my post. 586 people have seen my post, and these are the followers. And then you write your experience. In your case, there won't be experience, but you have to highlight your education. If you have done any project in your company, let that come here in the experience section, where you can write about the project name, give a project name, and you can write your college name, that you have done your project in this college, and then write about your experience in that project, what role you have performed, and what's your individual contribution towards that project. So that can come in your experience. Okay. And then your education, and yeah, so this is how the LinkedIn profile has to be. You can tweak a little bit, and yeah, so this is how your profile has to be. I see a lot of profiles, LinkedIn profiles, not having a photo, not having the headlines. It's just a regular kind of a LinkedIn profile. People don't get visible. They're not visible like that. You have to have your basics right. You have your profile pic, have your headlines, have a good cover photo. That will attract people. They will start sending you connection requests. When you are sending connection requests, they will accept it. So if you don't have, if your LinkedIn profile doesn't have a profile pic, they will not accept your connection request. So make sure that you have a profile pic, you have a cover photo done, have a good headline, and write something about yourself. Okay. So yeah, so this is how you need to get into the LinkedIn. Okay, so so am I clear, my friends? Am I clear about what I'm talking about? So we are still in the practice stage. We are still in the preparation stage, where you have to do everything about your personal development, be ready with your resume, be ready with your LinkedIn profile, and then you start implementing that. I'll come to that stage, how you're gonna implement that. So excel in your primary skills. Your primary skills is your technology. Whatever you have learned in your in your college, that is your primary skill. Once you go for an interview, it doesn't matter how did you search for a job, how did you reach out to the decision makers. That's all secondary. Once you are in the interview room, the questions what they're going to ask is about your skill, about what you have learned, about in your college, what you have learned in your project, right? You have to excel in your primary skills. You have to start learning about it. You can use a platform like Udemy, Coursera, YouTube. A lot of stuff's there. You absorb all those. Start learning every day. Start learning about your skill. Upgrade about your skill. If you're a physical design, if you're interested in RTL design, if you're interested in coding, programming, Java, learn about your primary skill. It could be from YouTube, it could be Coursera, it could be Udemy. There are a lot of platform. You would have learned a theoretical part of it in your college, but the practical exposure will come only when you start working. Okay, you would have got some practical exposure when you have done your project. So use that as a marketing tool. Okay, your project is a marketing tool for you. Okay, so this is all about preparation. The next stage is, now Gautam has practiced. Okay, your colleague, your classmate Gautam has practiced for the marathon. Now it's a day of a marathon. It's you have to run in a race. Okay, so that is implementation. Whatever you are prepared in your job search, whatever you've done, your personal development, you improved your personality, you have you have prepared your resume, you have done a good LinkedIn profile, and now what? You have to implement everything now. How do you do that? See, first thing is, no matter what, it's okay if you're not getting a job, you're not getting job, at least take some small projects that would help you in your that would you can highlight that in your resume. It could be 1 month project, or for a friend, or of a senior, or you would have done some internship. You would have gone there for 1 or 2 months without any salary. It's okay. That's all. That's the experience you're getting into your resume, into your experience. So make sure that don't say no to even the smallest job. Take it up. Take it as a learning experience for you. It's okay if you're not earning from it from 1 or 2 months. It's okay, but that experience will help you to build a career, to get into the next level, to get into the good companies. Okay, the companies, wherever you're going, if they ask you what you have done, your last 3 months, you're sitting idle, you're not done anything, you could tell that, hey, I have done this kind of a project. It's a freelancing project, what I have done for my senior, for my friend, or for one particular company, and I've learned a lot from this particular project. You can highlight that during the interview. You can highlight that in your resume. So make sure that you don't sit idle. Take some projects. It could be something you can learn about, in your area, in your skills. Make sure you take up those projects. And the next thing is, you need to have a job planner sheet. Okay, you need to have a job planner sheet with you. You have to, as I told you, 30, 60, 90. That is like, you have to plan the 30 days about preparation and preparing your resume, preparing your LinkedIn profile, sending connection requests, all those things. And the next 60 days, the next 30 days, you have to implement everything. And the 90 days is where you start getting, the interview calls and getting an offer there. So everything has to have a sheet. You can do that in Excel, or there is a website I can give it to you, saying that it's Hunter, HUNTR. So where it's more to do with it's like a software. You get it for trial. It's for 14 days or 30 days. Start using that, and you will have everything there. Whatever, if you're preparing for something, you can write about, hey, tomorrow I have to prepare a resume, or tomorrow I have to prepare a LinkedIn. You have a calendar there. You can just click on that and write everything there. And you can also write in your, the decision makers' names, the list, everything. So that's a planner sheet. You need to have an Excel at least, where you start writing about your 30 days plan, and the 60 days plan, and the 90 days plan, and go accordingly. Okay, so I have a job planner sheet and Excel. So probably, yeah. So if you can get in touch with me on LinkedIn, and probably I'll help you out on how to prepare an Excel sheet, how to prepare your job planner sheet. Okay, so The next thing is, this is all the ongoing thing. You have to be active in LinkedIn and social media. Social media is not about Instagram or TikTok. Social media, it could be anything to do with the LinkedIn or even the Facebook sometimes helps, but majorly it's the LinkedIn. Okay, you have to have that presence on LinkedIn, or maybe a little bit of social media presence to build your brand, but make sure that you're there in LinkedIn, okay, no matter what. So, and the next thing is job boards. What is job boards? I've listed down the very good job boards present in India, which are very effective. I don't encourage my clients, my job seekers, the candidates, to really upload their CV to all these portals. But yeah, for you, I think you can do that. You can upload your CV to these job boards. There are job boards like Naukri, Monster, Indeed, Killer Launch. There's a Killer Launch, where you'll start getting. They have this freelancing projects. Okay, you can apply for that. And Fresher World is also a very a good platform where you can upload your CV there, and you can see a lot of who are the companies hiring. You can get that information there. And yes, definitely you have to be on LinkedIn. And there's one more platform called as Placement India. It's also a Fresher kind of a platform where you will get a lot of information about the companies hiring. So get into it. You make a note of these job boards. That is Naukri, Monster, Indeed, Killer Launch, Fresher World, LinkedIn, Placement India. So try these job boards. That could be useful for you. Okay. And yes, so networking is also an ongoing process. Networking, as I told you, in LinkedIn, you have to start building that connection. You have to start building that connection. Start connecting with your seniors first. Start connecting with your with the alumni. Whoever has studied in your college, BMS college. They are the ones who can relate to you. Okay, even they would have come through your stage where they were searching for a job and then got into the corporate world of it. They would have struggled and they would have got there. So they know the pain. They know that these are my people. Let me help them out. So the first thing is reach out to your seniors, your alumni. They will definitely help you out. Okay, and the next stage is reach the right decision makers. Now I want to ask you one thing. Who are the decision makers? What do you think? Who are the decision makers of the companies? I think somebody's audio is not muted. So who are the decision makers in the companies? So who are the decision makers? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, sure. So what do you think? Who are the decision makers? Who are the decision makers in the companies? HR. Balwant is saying HR. Anybody else? Human resource managers. Okay, next. Anybody who can CEO? Okay, boss. Yes. Anybody wants to jump in here and see who's the decision maker in the company? So Balwant is saying HR, Sai is saying human resource managers, Pranit is saying CEO, and if you are saying boss, and Sai is saying individual. Okay. This may be wrong. I've come from a recruitment background. The recruiters and HRs are not the decision makers. Okay, keep it, keep this in mind. They are the ones who start the process. The sharing resumes, shortlisting resumes, and then it goes to the hiring managers, and then the interview starts, and then the coordination part, HRs or the recruiters take care of the coordination part, and then it goes to the decision making. So during the decision making, it's not the HRs or the recruiters who takes decision. It's the people. It's it could be the managers of that particular project, or it could be the lead of that particular project, or it could be the director, it could be the VP. Okay, they are the ones, the technical people, the technical managers are the one who are taking decisions. Yes, if you're from a HR background, yes, the HRs are the one who will take decision for the HRs, but you are a technical people. So for technical people, you're the recruiters and HRs are not the decision makers. Always have this in your mind. You are a fresher. It's always 3 level up. Okay, 3 level up are your once freshers. It goes to you could be a trainee, you could be a senior software engineer, senior software engineer. Then comes lead or manager. Okay, they are the ones who will take decisions. Now, when you're reaching out to the decision makers, you may not be able to reach out to the decision maker directly. They could be very senior, they may not respond to you, but you need to know the strategy that you have to reach out to the software engineers or senior software engineer. Make sure that they refer you to the decision makers. Okay, it's always 3 level up. Your first level and second level are the ones who will help you to reach out to the third level. That's the third level is a decision maker. So now, for example, if you have got a job now, and then after 2 years you're looking out for a job, you are a software engineer or a senior software engineer. Then what happens? If you're a senior software engineer, the third level up could be the director. It could be after senior level, senior software engineer, it comes the lead, the manager, and then senior manager or the director. Okay, so the director could be the decision maker, or maybe the manager could be the decision maker. But how do you reach out there? You reach out to maybe your peers. It could be a senior software engineer, it's fine, in that particular company. Okay, I'm talking about in that particular company. For example, XYZ is hiring and you're from ABC company. Okay, and then you reach out to the XYZ senior software engineers or the leads or the managers, and then reach out to the third level up. Okay, their third level people are the people who takes decision. Okay, so always your connection should be filled with not with just recruiters. Your connection in LinkedIn should be having a lot of technical people, or people from your background, from your skill sets. Okay, they are the one who takes decision. Okay, not the HRs, not the recruiters. Yes, recruiters and HR is fine. They will take your CV and take you to the hiring manager, but let it not be, your LinkedIn shouldn't be only filled with recruiters and the HRs. You should have 70% of technical people in your LinkedIn connection, and 20 to 30% of HRs and recruiters. If you're having all 100 recruiters and HRs, yes, I don't want to say anything more. So I'm not against the recruiters and the HR. This is how the process is, because I have learned the process. I know how the process runs, in a company. So I've been a candidate. I've been as a recruiter. I've been as a hiring manager. So I know the entire process. So your connections has to be filled with the technical, people. So bulb on. So did you learn something here? So if your bulb is on, then write bulb on. So this is something which a lot of people didn't know about it. A lot of people didn't know about it, especially the freshers. They were thinking that it's only the recruiters and the HRs who are gonna help you. They are not the ones. Yes, Sneha is saying yes, bulb on. So yes, my friends, this is a it's kind of a few things. These are all small things which people don't tell you. That's why I wanted to point out these things when you're reaching to the decision makers, the hiring managers. It's not only HRs and recruiters. It's your boss. It's your the project managers or the technical managers who could help you. Okay, so so it's already 6. So I'll take another 15 minutes. Is that fine? I'll just take another 15 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sure, sir.
Sure, great. Okay, so now how do you reach out to the decision makers? Again, you have to do your research. You have to start sending connection requests, and then start sharing. Sharing in the sense your resume. Always when you're sending a connection request, first thing is send your connection request with a personal note in LinkedIn. And once they accept the connections, if you send a personal note, usually out of 10, 8 people will accept your connection request. Once you accept it, then send one more mail saying thank you, and it's been a pleasure having you in my connection, in my network. And it's my privilege, to be, it's kind of, it's my pleasure. So it has to be a warm message. And then the third message, after 1 or 2 days, what you have to do is you send out one more message about the informational interview. I'll come to you on that. What is informational interviews? Okay. So always when you're reaching out to the decision makers, don't always in the first mail, don't send your resume saying that I'm looking for a job. Okay. It has to be kind of you have to build that relationship. You need to build that connection. Okay. Always it's after the second or third mail, you have to send your resume. Okay. The first 2 mails has to be a warm message saying that thank you, welcome, these kind of a mail, but don't send your resume. Your resume has to be shared only after the third or the fourth one. Even before you send your resume, there's one thing called informational interviews, which you would not know about it. I'm sure about it. There's a new thing. 1 minute. I'll just come to you on informational interviews just sometime, just after this. Follow industry experts, senior alumni, and the alumni and companies have spoken to you about it. So informational interviews. What is informational interview? It is a casual interaction with the person you in the company wherever he is working, right? For example, you have done your research in that 30 companies. You're listed down 30 companies. So out of that, XYZ is a company. Okay, and you have reached out to some senior software engineer or a lead or a software engineer from that particular company through LinkedIn. Okay, now your second message has to be like, you could say that I would like to know more about your career progression. How did you progress in your career? I would like to ask you a few questions about your career that would help me in preparing for my job search. Okay, so you have to ask for a permission to have a 5 minutes or 10 minutes discussion with them. Okay, so this is an informational interview request, what you're sending. The second mail has to be that, saying that, I would be really interested to know your career progression. You're currently working in XYZ company as software engineer, senior software engineer. I would like to get some tips from you about how did you get that job and how did you progress in your career. So can I get 5 minutes or 10 minutes time from you? Okay, over a call. Or few people would say that I'm busy. At that time you can say that, okay, I'll send you 5 questions in a mail. Would you be able to answer those 5 questions? That would help me in my preparation, to, search for a job. So this is how you build that second mail. You send them a second mail like this, asking for an informational interview. Okay, and the third thing is, yes, you will get there and ask. They will ask you. You can get into the interaction about how did you get a job and what are the ways you got a job. Like, how did you apply for this job and how was the interview process. And during this informational interview, it has to be you have to be a good listener. It's not about you. It's about them. Okay, focus on them. Keep them a little high. And talk about their progression, their career progression. And then second thing is tell them that, hey, I'm in a search process. I'm searching for a job, and all these points, whatever you told me, that would really help me. But I would like to ask you a few questions, like how did you prepare, how did you get this job, and how did you apply, and who's the decision maker in your company. So if I have to send my resume, how do I send my resume to this decision maker? Would you be able to help me? Or in a very casual way. Remember, the informational interview is not about interviews. It's not about asking a job. It's basically you build that connection. Now, for example, you have spoken to him for 5 to 10 minutes. You have built that relationship. Now, he would say that, hey, look, I have something in my company, my project manager, he is looking out for so and so company, and your skill matches to the requirement, so why don't you apply? You can share your resume to me. Or sometimes if they don't have the requirement, he would say that, hey, I think in future I might get some requirements, so I will let you know. I'm sure they're going to tell that. And whenever they have a requirement, I bet you they will come back to you, because you have taken that effort to go and reach out to them and have build that relationship with them. I'm sure they will get back to you whenever there is requirements. Okay, so informational interviews, very important, especially in this situation during this after post COVID. It's not about uploading your CV in your Naukri or Monster. It's about having some strategy in place, reaching out to the people, build that relationship, and keep them warm, and they will get back to you for sure. Okay, and whatever you're doing, be consistent. Whatever you're doing, your job planner sheet, you're active in LinkedIn, your job boards, your networking, reaching out to the right decision makers, it has to be on a consistent basis. So if you do one day, reaching out to the decision maker, and then after a week you come back and say that, okay, let me start again my job search, that's not going to happen. So you have to do it every day on a daily basis. Give yourself like 2 hours or 3 hours in your job search. Okay, job search is a full-time job. Okay, so make sure you're consistent in your job search. So the next one is, so after your running implementation, running in a marathon, the final thing is you need to reach you need to cross the finish line. You need to cross the finish line, right? So that is closing. So same thing goes with job search. It's not only about practice. It's not about implementing and searching for a job. The last thing is you have to get a job, right? That's where you cross the finishing line. So for that, you need to prepare for the interviews. That's again a 2-hour session about how do you prepare for the interviews. I'm sure that your college, your faculties would have helped you out on interview preparations, and how do you attend the interviews, how do you give answers, all those things. I won't be able to cover at this moment, but these are the things which will help you closing it. The interviews, be be good at your primary skill, and salary negotiation, very important. As a fresher, I know you cannot demand much. You cannot demand that I need 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs, and you can't have a figure in mind. But what you can do is you can do some research on the industry wise research, company wise research. You can go to Glassdoor. You can go to a few other platforms. Glassdoor is a good one, where you can go and do your research on this salary wise, company wise salary. They will have details about the salary, how much average salary is paid to software engineers or senior software engineers or the trainees. So you will get an idea. So how much do they pay for each position? So you can get into Glassdoor and learn about the salary negotiation. And the next is the offer journey. That is very crucial. I know you're a fresher. You don't, if you're experienced person, then you will have to serve your notice period. You have to be there for 2-3 months in your current company and then join the company. Whereas here, once you get your offer, you can join, within a week's time, or a 10 days or 15 days time. If you're still doing your studies, you're in the final year, you have your offer in place, you start building that connection, building that relationship with that particular company, with that particular, the respective managers who have hired you, who have given you the offer. Don't have this offer in hand and then don't even connect with them. That's a bad thing to do. So if you have an offer in your hand, you're in a 4th year, final year, and you have an offer and you have to complete your semester, but still, once you have your offer, build that relationship with the company where you're going to join, right? That will really help you in your joining. So and as I told you, building long-term professional relationships. Now it's all about relationships. It's how how well you're connected, how well you're networking with people. It's all about connection. It's not all about networking. Build that relationship, and it has to be an ongoing process. You know, in my career, I haven't uploaded my CV into Naukri or Monster in my 17 years of my career. Yeah, last few years I've been into my entrepreneurship, but the last, the 12, 13 years I've been in my career in corporate and consultancies. I've not uploaded my CV. All my jobs are got by just references. Okay, it's just one call away. If I have to join any company, I can just give a call to a person who's working there, and I'll have an interview there. That's the confidence I'll have. That's the confidence I have, because I have built that relationship with people. I can pick up the call and ask for any help with any people out there in the industry. So I can do that. Why? Because I built that professional relationship. So the relationship has to be continuous. Don't use don't use people. There's a proverb. Don't use don't use people, use money, something like that. So don't use people, use money. So it's like, you have to have that relationship with people, maintain that relationship. Okay, throughout. That will help you in your career immensely. Even after 2 years, you want to change your job, you have just one call away. You can call them, those people, and they will get you interview calls for you. Okay, so build that relationship. And once you get a job, it's very important that you start helping your classmates, start helping your colleagues to get a job in your company. Okay, it's not about you, it's about helping each other. Okay, I believe in the system. It's all about karma. You start helping people, and people will start helping you, right? So make sure that once you cross your line, once you cross the finishing line, it's not only you. For example, marathon. Somebody ran. If you look at this marathon runners, they're not selfish. You would have seen a lot of videos saying that they run, and few people will be injured. They can't even walk, they can't even run, but the person who is way forward, he'll come back and help that person and take him to the finishing line. So that's what your attitude has to be. That's what your giving nature should be. So yes, once you cross the finishing line, it's not only about you. Get everybody into that finishing line. Okay, that's your job. So yes, help others and grow together and build a brand. The next generation, post COVID, it's all about online. It's all about digital. You have to be present there. You have to wake up, show up in this digital platform, wherever it is, LinkedIn or anything. You have start building your brand. Okay, it has to be an ongoing process. Okay, so there are lots to learn. I've just covered maybe 10% of it. I didn't go detail because it would take a lot of time. It would take more than 3 hours. But yeah, so I'm sure that you would have learned something from here. Yeah, if you want to ask any questions, please feel free to ask me. I'm also running a session tomorrow with almost like 342 job seekers. It's going to be a mega event. This is open to all, and you can probably you can come there. You can be a part of that session. It's going to be a good session tomorrow at 8 p.m. So probably I can give you a link here. If somebody wants to join that session, you're most welcome. You will learn a lot about the job search. So it's tomorrow at 8 p.m. So if somebody is interested, you can just join there. Hope it's fine. I can give you the link, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's a free session again. So you can just log in there, register yourself, and you can be there tomorrow. So any questions, my friends? So I just covered the basic of search. If you have the system in place, saying that the practice, the preparation, what and all you need to prepare, and how you have to implement it, and who are the decision makers, how do you have to connect with the decision makers, and then how is the closing, how you need to really close the deal. So this is the stage. These are the three stages you need to keep in mind. And yeah, so if you need any more information, you can get in touch with me. So anybody wants to ask any question, they can ask, and we can wind up. So it's what? It's 6:20, 6:18. So how was this session? I would like to ask you, did you get a clarity about the job search? You would have got some information about how to search for a job, how to reach out to the decision makers, who are the decision makers. So yes, I've covered the basic steps of it.
Yes, sir. I guess the participants of the event, they would have enjoyed the session and they
Hope
learned.
I didn't bore you, people.
No, no,
So
sir,
it's
it was
very
not.
important that you're not bored in the presentation, in the session. So if you're not bored, then it's fine.
Yes, sir, it was not boring, sir. It
Okay.
was very interesting, and I hope everyone enjoyed the session and learned a lot of things from it.
Great, great.
Yeah. We'll wait for some questions, or else we'll wind up the
Yeah,
session.
yeah. We'll give like 2 minutes, and if somebody
Yeah.
wants to ask questions, they can ask. Yeah, Gautam, thank you, and yes, thank you. Gautam says thank you for using me as an example, sir. Yes, yes. I wanted to take some examples. Whoever who is relevant to my topic. So you are the one who is very what do you say, athletic, and so I took your example for my topic. So okay, so great. You can connect on LinkedIn. You have my LinkedIn link. You can connect there, and we can keep in touch on LinkedIn. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me anytime. I'm there to help job seekers. I'm working with a lot of job seekers, almost like 300 plus job seekers at this moment, on a daily basis. So it's a pleasure to come here and address the students. So if you have any questions, you can please ask, or else even after the session, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, and you can ask any questions. Okay.
Yes, sir. It
Yeah.
was really a pleasure to have you here, sir. We
Same
are
here. Same
great
here.
to have you with our college event.
Great.
Yeah, I guess we can wind up. I
Yes.
request Sai Sparsha to just present the vote of thanks of the event, and
Sure.
we'll
Sure.
conclude.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes, sir, we are very delightful to have you today. Let this vote of thanks be a bit more personal.
Okay.
When we decided, I just thought, okay, fine, it's again gonna be something theoretical, and okay, fine, the speaker will be hinting on points like focus on this, focus on that. This should be your goal. This should be the goal. But
Okay.
to be frank, it was. You involved every one of us, and we could visualize ourselves. Each step you told, yeah,
Oh,
LinkedIn profile upgradation. Yes, we had to do.
correct.
Speak to people, not only getting connected. You have to interact with them. Get the
Right.
common interest, build your
Mm,
community. I mean, you
great.
totally justified the title of a topic.
Glad you liked
As
it,
a,
Sai.
yes, sir. As a member, I really like this session, and I hope each and every one of us like this. And thank
Okay.
you so much for taking your time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And as I told you earlier, if you need any help, you can please reach out to me, and I would be happy to help you out. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Great. All the best. Good luck in your career. And yeah, you could be the next, whatever, the big tycoon. Okay. So great. Good night, everybody. Take care.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for attending this session.
Yes.